7 o'clock, it being 7 o'clock on January 4th, 2022. I'd like to call to order the Bellingham Board of Health meeting. Kelly McGovern Chair, Vincent Forty Jr. Vice Chair, Tricia Leclerc is member. Bruce Wilson is our health agent, and Laura Reynolds is our minutes clerk. Do you want to hit that on the screen, Bruce? Is that on that computer?
Oh, yeah.
All right, first order of business, we're not going to go by the agenda because we have some people who need to get out, in and out. So we're going to go to the Charles and the complaints that we've been getting the last few weeks, months.
All right, I've asked Deputy Chief Chris Milo and Building Inspector Tim Iacardi to join our meeting. JRK has Matt Sussman that's representing them tonight.
Okay.
So we've had some multiple complaints just in the last
Yeah.
3 weeks, only because we've been handling
right.
calls while Bruce was away, so. And I know it's been ongoing
Right.
prior to that.
Yeah. I started basically doing inspections for Bruce when he left, and then it got over to complaints, and it started with the Charles. Basically, the first complaint was cabinets,
I thought
toilets.
it was the trash. I thought
Well-
the trash dumpster was the first thing that we kept going on, because it was massive.
Yeah, well, actually, the
There's
first
massive
complaint
amounts of
was actually
trash.
obstructions in the hallway that led to a fire door. Anyway, the second complaint was on the 21st with trash. And that was probably the simultaneous day. And the trash bins, there was a 30-yarder filled. 30 yards plus the top had about 4 feet above it. A Harvey trash, 30-yard compactor. Then the bin between building 3 and 4, I think, near a carport and a overhang, that was completely filled, but only to the edge of the parking area. And the alcove area in the underneath part of the overhang, there was trash bags in there, some furniture and an appliance. So I cited, and then the 9 bins of dog waste were just filled evenly.
Overflow.
Do we have
Oh,
pictures?
Yeah, we do. I sent them all to
Can I-
Laura.
Just so, and Kelly, those are the incidents that Vinnie observed. This
Right.
has been ongoing
Right,
I
for
know, for a
several
long
months,
time.
and they had been fined in the past
Right.
for the animal waste.
I think it started in April and June where we had overflow dumpsters.
Yeah,
Cardboard and
some of them, I
everything
don't pull them up, so that
In any
they
event,
can see them.
I cited them for that and then went back the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, the 26th, whatever. It just kept going. I went back today and I'll admit the little, what do you call it, bin, let's say 7-yarder, was full and a little bit overflowing, but the other areas around it were still full of trash. And there's a couch there which appeared 2 days ago. And it's a rather, let's say small couch, large love seat. And that's sitting out there. But the second dumpster that was called in, I called Liam McDermott at Hobby. And I said, listen, I didn't get him the first time. So the second time I left him a message saying that that dumpster was not put in place, another 30-yarder. So that the maintenance guy, Mike, I believe, could fill it up with the other one that was excessive. And he did, he filled it halfway. But they hired another guy to come and pick it up for them because they're lacking drivers. So the other company did not take the full one away. Today, both 30-yarders are full. So pretty much even, there's a couple of boxes above on one, but we have 60 yards of trash there now. So I told the guy that was the maintenance guy, I said, call this Liam and tell him, you need to pick it up. This is the Charles asking for it. You can also say that the Board of Health is eventually going to do what they said it was going to do. Is going to end up fining them for not picking up their dumpster. Because they're contributing to the nuisance, the fact that people see that it's for contractors to offload stuff from apartments, but they see that and they put it there. And if they can't get it on top, they just put it aside. So, and there was a couple of days, it was fairly windy and stuff was just blowing around, but not the big stuff, the little stuff. So, I don't know. I'm not sure where we are up to, but
Excuse me, Kelly,
Yes.
could I just fill you guys in a little bit of what's going on prior to Vinnie's inspections.
Yep.
Ever since the Charles has been sold to the new concern, I see Matt is here, and I've never spoke to Matt, but I've spoke to several property managers that they've gone through. We've been dealing with this since they sold the building and this new company took over.
When was
It's pretty much, it's almost I think it's probably about almost a year now.
Close to a year.
Okay.
Okay, our department has been inundated by people calling our department like we're the property managers to solve all their problems because the management of this new company can't get experienced people to run the property the way it's supposed to be run. Okay, I'm totally done with this now. I'm gonna start taking them to court, and I'm gonna enforce the fines that's been issued, and I'm gonna take them to court every single time we accumulate 5 or more complaints. I'm done with this. They don't fix people's heat, their hot water, there's sewerage coming up from people's sinks because of clogs. It goes on and on. There's dog feces in the hallways. I could go on, and I have a stack 2 inches thick of complaints.
Yeah, we have the folder here too.
Yeah, these people don't do anything about it. I understand the problem with getting help, okay? I know that help is hard to get, and they're hiring inexperienced property managers, and they're trying to train them. I get that. But look, the problem is here, they need to bring in some experienced people to get the thing up and running where it should be. And then an inexperienced person can learn and learn the ropes and then maintain it. But it is so far beyond all of the complaints that they have to answer here. They've got a serious problem on their hands. And I met with town council today and got some advice from her. And if they don't clean up their act, I'm just gonna go to court. I'll go to court every week, I don't care. Because the amount of calls that we get and these people that are paying their rents and they're not being answered. There's nobody in the office, Kelly. It's a disaster over there.
Yeah.
And we've been going through this for at least the last 6 months.
Right.
And Matt, I know you're listening. Nobody has reached out from the upper management to solve. We're not your management company. We're the town. You're supposed to manage your own property. Okay. It's becoming a real problem now. So, I hope you find a solution, Matt.
Yeah, Tim, right? And to the rest of the board, hello, I'm Matt Sussman. I'm with our corporate office at JRK. We took the property over 2+ years ago in late 2019. And just to address some of the stuff you're saying, first and foremost, I'm not going to disagree with what you're saying in regards to the way the property's been maintained over the last year or so. We've had a revolving door of managers. These are not inexperienced people, so I don't want you to think we're bringing on inexperienced people. The managers that we've hired are experienced. Some have come from other properties at JRK. Some have come from other properties in the area and in the region. And no one is working out, as you guys can tell. And it's always very difficult when you have a revolving door to get that consistency and get the property running the right way. And you're absolutely right. It's not your responsibility to deal with any of those things. That all said, with the revolving door of people coming in and out, the first that the corporate office has heard about the extent of these issues and has received documentation of these issues, except for one. There was one documented issue in unit 5107 that's going to be in that folder that you guys have, which we got wind of, and everything should be corrected on there. At least we certainly did work to get it corrected, but we have not been receiving the correspondence from you guys directly, and that is a problem from the site level, not communicating with us. Part of it is some of these citations you've given have probably been to people who weren't there shortly after. And this is, like I said, the trash fines is the first I heard of it a few days ago. And then I heard about this meeting today, which is why I wanted to be on, introduce myself. give you guys my direct contact information so that you guys have someone from corporate to correspond with directly, so there's no more loss in translation of what's going on, because it's 150% our goal to get this place to a properly running property. It doesn't help us to have it run like this. Doesn't help you guys. It's a nightmare for our residents, and it's not the way we like to run a property. I can tell you guys that we have a new manager. She's very experienced, and she is starting next Monday. We also have been staffing the property with 2 maintenance guys, and staffing I'll use loosely because we haven't had a lot of success in keeping solid maintenance staff. We are hiring up to 3 people now so that we have extra help. We'll have 3 people all year, so long as we can hire and retain them. We currently only have 1 person on staff. And leading up to this person starting on December 27th, we had no one on staff, and we were piecemealing together days of help from other properties in the region. But we have a full-time maintenance guy on staff now. We just hired a 2nd person today. And since finding out about the trash fines, that's when we got that extra dumpster mobilized. We had both dumpsters picked up today and both returned, so that there's an extra dumpster to make sure everything gets 100% cleaned up. And then we'll go back to just the 1 dumpster for the renovation materials. In the meantime, until our new grounds person starts, we hired a temp labor company to come in and do grounds full time until we have another person on staff, so that the property can maintain its cleanliness until we're properly staffed. And we're also looking at changing the way we do our trash, because like you said, residents see a dumpster, they use the dumpster. So we're looking to change it. We just reached out for pricing this week to see what it will look like to change the trash from a single compactor to having bins throughout the property, so that residents don't have a far way to walk and they can just throw out their trash near their own building, which we think will help. So as soon as we found out about all this, and look, the site people are our responsibility, and it's our responsibility to have them communicate with us. That's also not your job. You guys did your job. You came to the property, you saw something was wrong, you let the employees know. But I'll tell you, matter of factly, we didn't catch wind of it at corporate until just a couple days ago. And we are very committed to getting this property back to where it should be. And hopefully back to the point where you guys never need to get involved in any capacity.
Okay, Mr. Sussman.
Matt, I just wanted to jump in. This is Jim Bauman. I joined the call at Matt's request, just so that Matt had additional people on here to make sure he could mobilize whatever resources he needs. I'm the general counsel for JRK. I've been with the company over 10 years. This is just so to give you a little background, the staffing issues we're seeing at this property are not unique to this property. And they're not unique to, any of our peer set. I sit on a number of boards with people that are in the same industry as me and focus groups. We're seeing city issues like this all over because of these staffing issues and because of the fact that, it is a revolving door. We are paying up higher than we've ever paid for these positions. We're offering signing bonuses where we've employed more recruiters than we've ever done in the past. And it really is very difficult to maintain maintenance staff at these properties. Finding temp labor is almost impossible in many states, Massachusetts being one of them. So I just wanted to kind of give that background too, because we're a large company. We're not, so we're not a company that runs, poor quality product or that doesn't care about its service or employees or tenants. So to hear the frustration that I heard in the first gentleman who spoke's voice is frustrating to me, because that's just not how we like to operate our properties. So I think Matt's suggestion is right on the money of opening up a direct line of communication. But the other thing I'll throw in here, Matt, is that I reviewed our tenant relations log. We have a tenant relations department at the corporate office that can field direct phone calls from tenants, so that if a tenant feels as though they're not getting an answer from the on-site staff, they can call the tenant relations department. We review those logs so we can see if we get spikes if we can see if there's, a common trend of the certain types of complaints we have. I'm just not seeing anything for Charles Bellingham. So I think one of the issues that we're seeing is that, it looks like a lot of the tenants here are directly calling the city as opposed to calling the property or corporate. So at some point, the communication channel from the tenants themselves has needs to be redirected in order for this to start working properly.
So I'm assuming that most of the tenants cannot get a hold of any of the management personnel, so they end up calling the town. And I agree with you. It's a busy time right now, and nobody can get labor. It's tough to get labor. So Bellingham's experiencing now a lot of growth, so you can understand we're in the same situation. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of building going on, and all of this. All of these complaints come into our department, and it's really, it's meant for the management company. Now, I appreciate the trash, that you're taking care of that, and you're paying attention to the outside maintenance, but you also do have a lot of life safety issues, with smoke detectors. You have entry systems that aren't working properly. You have clutter in the hallways. So it really just needs some real attention. I appreciate you guys coming to the meeting, and I didn't want to come across too strong, but it's been very frustrating for our department to have to deal with all of your complaints and try to get, all the other work that we have to do, get it done, because these people are frustrated too that are calling. So you have to understand, put yourself in our position. So I understand what you're saying, but you do have a lot of work to do for maintenance wise inside the buildings. So maybe the new property manager, we can make an appointment with them, myself, Bruce, and Deputy Milo, and we'll be happy to meet with them. But, we've done this several times. So that's the frustration that you're dealing with. Every property manager that comes in, we go down there and sit with them, and it just hasn't worked out. So
if I could, what I would suggest then, Matt, is let's coordinate this so that someone like you is present, where we're not going to have someone. So, I'm very hopeful that the new manager is going to be a mainstay at the property, but just so that we avoid the problem that he's articulating, I think you should be present for that meeting, so that someone from the corporate office has a list of the issues, sees what he's pointing out, and then we can, deploy the resources that we need to address those in a timely way. And with them having contact information for you, for me, for whoever, if they see that something's not being addressed, rather than, having to go through this form, they can just reach out and say, hey, Jim, hey, Matt, this is something we saw that hasn't been fixed, and we can jump right on it.
Sounds good. I think Bruce has.
I agree completely. And, unfortunately, our sites definitely have a higher turnover rate than our corporate level. I've been working on the Boston area for the last 5 years. I'm definitely a more consistent point of contact, and I think all the contact should really go direct to me if possible. This way, nothing that gets given to the site falls through the cracks, both exterior and interior. No heat calls, no hot water calls. If they don't come through our system, it's really hard for us to track it at the corporate level. So, like we've spoken about a couple of times, definitely would like to be included in all correspondence. More than happy to be there for the meeting, to meet with you guys directly, whether in person or Zoom, and to really be a consolidated point of contact for you guys, so that we don't run into the same problem a couple months down the road.
Hey, Matt, Jim, it's Deputy Milo from the fire department. We've had a number of calls. We're averaging about 25 calls a month there. So this is not like a couple. This is a regular process with us. A lot of the calls, I'm going to say probably half recently, have been maintenance calls, whether it's water leaking under a sink into another apartment, or smoke detectors beeping at 3 a.m. where they've made multiple calls. It's starting to be a nuisance. We did meet with the manager before, and they said they would try to take care of it. Now that manager's gone, the problem hasn't been corrected. At this point, we've started to track them. And this year, as after January, if they start to become more and more, we're going to start charging the company for our response. It's getting to that point. We've almost ended up your maintenance company.
Here we go.
Yeah, again, I mean, part of the issue that I think we all kind of have to figure out here is if these people are going directly to the fire department or to, I mean, we have a digital work order system. So, I mean, if these people submit these work orders, we can track it and see it in real time. But if they're just calling the city or calling the fire department and not entering these, there's no
Well, I
way
can
for us
tell
to
you-
know,
so
these are
a beeping-
transpiring.
A smoke detector that's beeping because the battery's dead or that the detector's no good at 3 a.m. They made their phone calls numerous times, and it becomes a problem with more than one tenant. They're going to call us because they know that we can fix the problem or at least look at it and let them know they're safe. So having a digital thing or something they can call and leave a message, they need like immediate response after hours for certain things. And I think that's the big issue.
I mean, one of the things.
We do have an after hours system and phone monitoring system that notifies, maintenance of emergencies. Obviously, if your smoke battery goes off, it's not typical to call an emergency hotline. Has happened to me before, but we do have a 24-hour monitoring system.
All right.
I
Bruce?
mean, the 24-hour monitoring system is great, but I know Chris and I and Tim, all three of us responded to a water leak that turned into a major flooding problem, and there was nobody on site. We wanted, like an emergency phone number for somebody, and hopefully they can respond in less than half an hour's time. The person that did respond was 2 hours away, and then when we got there, it was a disaster. It's difficult. I mean, Jimmy Ray was there. Things seemed to start to turn well. He trained somebody, and then that person lasted about a week. And
Right.
it's tough. I mean, I'm hoping Matt is of the same caliber as Jimmy Ray, because they did seem to start to pull it together. And again, I mean, the three of us will meet with them and tell them where some of the problems are, but we shouldn't be the one catching the front of it. You need to initiate with the people there, a pecking order. Call if they're not getting any response to the work order, then call us, then we'll get involved. But I don't want to be the first call. They need to be reaching out to you people to get their problems taken care of.
When I responded, my first response was on the 21st, and what I did do, that was for something blocking the fire door. But anyway, that's when I set in motion our commercial bylaw for regulations on trash is 48 hours. So I didn't go back there till the 23rd. That's when the fine started. I did not go on Christmas Day, so you didn't get fined for Christmas Day. And then I went Sunday and Monday. So I think there's 4 or 5 fines. But before that, there was 2 people or 3 people without hot water or heat. I think it was 2 without hot water, 1 without heat. Another one with the door, I guess they couldn't get the door fob open. So someone got a brilliant idea, use a rock. That was a good way of doing it. But anyway, and then I couldn't get into one building. Someone finally let me in because I had to go see somebody else about something else. I forget what that was. But those complaints sort of came in because I did ask. I said, did you call management? And then I met a guy on the 27th or 28th of December. And he said, this is my first day. And, he's a good guy. He fixed 2 or 3 of the complaints immediately. And one of them, he has to order a pot for it. And, but at least the lady's got some remedy. I think there's some hot water, but it was a leaking valve. So I think he fixed that issue. But, like I told him, I says, you got to get these fixed. I said, we're asking him if they can call somebody else. And they say, we try that number. There's nobody there. And there's nobody on site. So this guy here, I believe, is giving the residents, at least the ones that he had to do repairs on, his number. And I don't know if that's Mike. He's a fairly new guy, but he's experienced. He has a lot of experience.
Yep, that's gonna be Rick. Rick is our
Rick,
new
okay,
manager.
Rick, right,
Started on the 27th.
right.
And like I was saying before, it's very difficult to staff here. We did not have adequate staff. We had no one from people quitting. And like I said before, I think the biggest thing we're doing this year to combat it is at great expense to us. We think it's very much worth it, is we're going to increase the amount. We have open positions already online that we're trying to fill, to have 3 people on this property instead of 2 people. This way, if someone does quit or someone gets fired or whatever it is, or there's staffing shortages, there's an extra body that's there as a cushion so that we never run into a similar kind of situation. The other thing that we're doing on the office side, in addition to our new manager starting Monday, and she comes from a property down the street, and she's very experienced. We're very hopeful that it works out, but just in case it doesn't, we have our longest tenured manager in the Boston area now also oversees this property from a high site level, to make sure the office is running smoothly as well. For the same reasons, if there is turnover, if there is problem staffing, we have a consistent person who knows the property, who gets to know the residents, who understands the issues, and is another point of contact, so that, again, we don't have people going straight to you guys because they can't reach someone on site. So having the extra maintenance staff should go a very long way. Having the extra layer on the office side should also be a nice cushion in case we have these staffing issues again. So I want you to know that we hear you very much, and we agree, and we are already in the process of getting those extra reinforcements so that this kind of thing doesn't happen going forward.
Matt, I had a question for you. How do we go forward from here as far as letting your residents know the process on making complaints to you before coming the worst case scenario, which is us? But do they know about these tenant relations and this digital work order? Because I don't think a lot of them do.
Yeah, I don't think it.
So they absolutely should, but considering, what's going on in practice, if they know about it, they're either ignoring it or they don't know about it. What we can
You
do on
send out notices or emails
Yep,
or
we can
door
do both.
hangers, something.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to suggest. We can, through our system, the same one that tracks a bunch of other stuff, we can email all of the residents that have an email on file directly. And we can also post flyers on our buildings with an instruction kit. And then I can't recall if there's usually a bulletin board in the entry hallway. We can keep something permanent there as well. In addition to, in the really short term, have signage up on entryways to the buildings, reminding everyone of what to do. So we can hit it both ways.
A question for you. When somebody puts in a digital order, do they get an email response saying that it was received?
Yeah, on a holiday weekend or a weekend.
Anytime.
Anytime.
How do they know it's been received? And is that something you can institute?
They get a notification, and they also get a notification if it gets closed. So they can see if the ticket is open or not open.
Okay.
When they put the order in, do they get an email saying we received your order, we'll get back to you within X amount of hours or something? Or they just have to like sign in and see what the status is?
I don't want to misspeak. I'm not sure exactly what gets triggered, but my understanding is that it's very clear to them that a ticket entered.
Matt, they do get an email. They'll get an email confirmation.
Thanks.
Good.
I just have an issue with that. One of the complaints that I received when I was away on vacation was that there was raw sewage backing up a sink, and there was a work order that was issued, but it was closed, but nothing was ever done.
Right.
So, raw sewage to me is kind of a really desperate, it needs to be addressed right away. And it continued to go on, and I think really.
I went there and it was like, she had cleaned up the floor. It was like an 8x12 area, it was destroyed, all the cabinets. The person she talked to on the phone from the company said, were you using the dishwasher? She said, I was doing nothing. I left the house. I left my oldest son home, and she went out with the youngest one. She comes home, and I guess the kid was playing video games in his room. He didn't even know it. There was a flood. And I told her, I said, this has got to be professionally cleaned. And then, I said, you should have a clause in there where you can call like Brian Day or, Serve Pro and say, you got to get this clean. The lady, when I left, I said, I can't do anything but get a photograph, contact somebody for you. And that's when I talked to Rick, I think. And he said, I'll take care of it, but I don't know. I said, you're going to need to have that professionally cleaned. It's a health hazard. You
So
had
how-
sewage all over
would a
attention.
work order be closed if it wasn't addressed, or is that, you think, a glitch in the system?
Definitely should never happen. There's obviously humans involved. So if someone does the wrong thing and does close the work order, the resident does get notified right away. So if a resident puts in a work order and they get a notification that it's closed and they can see that it's not, they can go right in and put in another work order. There's only so much we can take the human element out of, but to answer your question, matter of factly, no, you should never close a work order until it's done. But if you do, the resident gets notified right away.
Now, one of the other responses we got was that they were told to find somebody to fix it.
Same.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the other thing
then
that-
you could take it out of their rent, and I'm like, that
Right.
shouldn't be
Yeah,
happening.
the other thing that happened was, this did happen on the weekend. I don't know if it was
Doesn't matter.
New Year's Day or Sunday. I think it was New Year's Day. But the bottom line is, I couldn't do anything for her. But how I got this was, it didn't go to the Board of Health, or my phone number
No,
at
it was
home.
on social media.
It went on Facebook. So, then somebody called me from the department because Bruce was in Florida on vacation. And I said, I'll take care of it, but I really couldn't do much for her.
No, but what they were saying was they had to foot the bill, that no one was gonna help them. They were told to
Right,
foot the
and
bill
I
and take it
said,
off of their rent.
yeah, that was the lady with the water heater. And I said, I don't know if you should do that. But she
Well,
said
that's
there
what
was
they
a
were told.
program that was said, if it's an emergency, you can call Victory Heating and they will come out for $100 and you take it off this. And then if it's a,
We don't have any program. There's no
Okay.
program like that.
Okay.
And we monitor, and the manager would not be incentivized to do that.
okay, fine.
Because if a manager told them that they could deduct it from their rent, we initiate the eviction filings from the corporate office. So we would see that someone's short paying their rent. And then the manager would all of a sudden be confronted on, why on earth would you be telling someone that?
I just thought you should
Obviously,
do
that's a
what was being
violation.
said, that's all. That's why I brought it up. That's what is going on.
And then I got to Rick the following morning on the trash stuff and he went over and fixed it. So he had gotten one done on Friday and two done on Monday. But in the sense that whole weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, these three people, four actually, but three with serious problems of heating and not heating, hot water heat and heating and the overflowed drain. Had to live with it, so.
Are all those orders, are those all?
Those were all fixed
They're
now.
all fixed.
Except I don't know about the drain. I assume that's all taken care of.
All right.
Because you have to look at the source of the possibility there. Unless someone was pumping a system, it's sewerage now, so it's not like someone was pumping it. Somehow there's some kind of back pressure. She's on the second floor too. So nobody below her had any other problems. So, but
Could be a
for some,
blockage or
just for
something.
some reason, hers was, like, as Bruce said, there was a work order at one time in that. But it just picked the wrong day to do it, and she had to live with it for 2 days. I don't know if Rick was able to solve that for her, I said to her, I says, well, maybe you can get Roy Rooter in here, because you'd hate to wake up in the middle of the night and it starts again, It happened somewhere about midday, but she was using nothing, no sink, no nothing, so,
It's a good thing we monitor the social media in the town.
yeah.
So starting Monday, you have a new manager starting, so we would expect that things are gonna start changing, and we shouldn't be getting many calls, maybe hopefully immediately, but Monday, your new manager starts, is that right?
That's correct. The new manager starts on Monday.
And
And
now the trash, so you said you're gonna have a different company and more receptacles, but is it gonna be emptied more often? I don't think it was being emptied enough, maybe?
Matt, at 10:30 this morning,
answer.
okay, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so in the immediate short term of cleaning up the property, we got the extra dumpster, which we've now filled twice. And we got it returned again to fill up a third time, although I don't think we need it. It's kind of overkill, but given the circumstance, we think overkill is warranted at this point. So that's to get the property cleaned up right away. In addition to getting a temp laborer, because we don't have anyone else on staff to monitor and do the trash daily until we do get our extra staffer. And this should maintain the grounds in the immediate short term. In terms of long-term, in addition to having the additional third person on staff, which will give us extra manpower to monitor the property and get stuff cleaned up, from an actual scope of trash perspective, we're looking at two options. There's going to be a change either way. The current compactor does not work to the capacity that makes sense for a property like this. It's a very old machine. So we are either going to start renting a compactor that is more powerful and can handle the level of trash and it will get picked up accordingly. Or we will change to the dumpsters around the property option, which will spread out the trash and allow residents to throw stuff out closer to their buildings. And it's just a matter of working with the trash company to see what makes the most sense in terms of those two options. But either one of those two options should solve the pain point pretty much fully. And when you add in the third set of hands to help clean the property, we think absolutely that'll keep the property clean.
Matt, if I could interject here, you also should make a list of what's acceptable for dumpster and what should be taken to the recycle center. All that furniture being piled up there, I don't think that's, something that the dumpster company is going to want to be dealing with. And these people should be instructed where to take it. The town of Bellingham does have quite a recycle center that can deal with that.
Yeah, but not couches and trash like that. They can take cardboard, they can take some appliances,
Yeah.
small ones, but some of the, one of them was.
Maybe have them
stove.
ask
Right.
your trash company if they will take the
Right.
furniture and stuff.
Because I was going in there almost every day for 2 months, and there was quite a bit of debris and furniture left outside the compactor because
Yeah.
it wouldn't go in.
So Matt, if we could send emails or announcements or door hangers or whatever in regards to those digital work orders, and then also address the trash, and that will help, I think.
No,
the
give it a try. I mean,
initial- yeah,
it's.
Absolutely.
that would
Okay,
be-
one other thing, Matt, I know somebody said, you said there was a second one delivered. That was delivered a day ago earlier. But that got offloaded. It might have actually happened on Friday, the day before the holiday. But it was offloaded by Rick and filled it halfway. And then by Sunday, when I went back, it was filled to the top. Today I went, I'm roughly doing a 24-hour cycle, somewhere between 10:30 and 12:30. Today was at 11:15. The small little dumpster didn't have as much outside. Rick did the best he could, hauling it all the way up to building the leasing area. But the leasing area one, and the first one was still full, not picked up for days. The second was filled to the top, to a box on top of that. So I believe you said it was picked up today. I'll assume that was happening after 11 o'clock today, because I issued another fine. And the other thing too,
That's correct.
okay, and the
It should
animal
have
waste
gotten
was
picked up
out of control, right? The animal waste, all 9 bins are overfilled, but 3 of them were like excessive. There were bags that were almost as tall as the bin on it, the pole there. So that has to be picked up. I mean, I know it's only animal waste, but it's
Yeah.
unsightly and it's unhealthy to have that outside run.
Understood, and that's the first priority of our labor supposed to be on site tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I guess Monday, when the new manager starts, you might want to have them call Tim and Bruce or
Yeah, no, Tim and
Chris
Bruce,
Milo,
Mike,
because there's a
the
lot
three of
of
us will definitely meet
safety
with them.
problems in hallways and stuff that need to be addressed immediately if there's stuff blocking hallways, right? So we've got to
Yeah.
address those. In addition to many other things, I'm sure, but that would be great.
give them a heads up. That's a tough crowd there. Those people,
I know.
they're
Yeah,
And guys, going forward, I know Bruce has my email because he was able to email me today, but do you guys need my email and cell phone number as direct contact? Because I don't want to find ourselves in a similar position where we're just finding out about something months down the road and have to play catch up. We much rather hear about it the first time and be all over it.
Stay on the loop, sure, go ahead.
So my email is msussman@jrk.com. That's MSUSSMAN@jrk.com. And my cell phone is 631-707-4669. 4799. That's my direct line. You can call me, you can email me anytime.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, Matt, thank you.
Jim, thank you.
Tim and Chris.
Thank you.
All said?
Thank you guys very much. You have a great night.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess you go see
They
if it's
didn't know
fixed
about a
tomorrow.
lot of it, so. I think once they get that digital work order
Well, that's
system up
because
and
no, they
running.
didn't know anything about it because there was no phone number to call.
Well, the other thing too
Well,
is,
if you go online there, it sounds like it's on there, online, like when you pay your rent,
Yeah.
everything's on there, and you hit a button for work order. I don't think
yeah,
they knew
well,
about
the
it.
problem is
I don't think they
some
knew about
people said when they went online, they're not
People might
responding.
not be savvy with that
So,
either.
you know, and that's the other thing too, you're asking people, they weren't
They have
all old, they were
an
young
answer
as me.
service. And the answer service would take the information and forward it to them.
Yeah, but the digital work order sounds so much better than an answering.
Yeah,
service.
but you're done if
It's
that
automatically in the
someone,
system, and then you get an email back, you got proof right there that they received it.
that's right, they were younger than me, but that doesn't mean they know computers.
Either way.
Yeah.
All right, so Tricia has to leave in 20 minutes,
Right,
so we
okay,
want to
so-
work on.
Let's go right to the bins then,
Go to the
Yeah.
bins, yeah.
just so we get that wrapped up once and for all.
And then the annual report real quick. 'cause
Yeah,
that-
okay,
All right, so what did we change the last time?
let's see,
We
well,
didn't put a maximum permit still. We still won't have a
Yeah, I
maximum number.
well, you said it was close to 46, not 85, so why don't we make
I already said 50.
50?
I already said 50 last time.
We did 50, yeah, we did
It's
say
not,
50.
it's not in here. It's not
Okay,
up to
but
you. I didn't say it.
50, right, I think we did say that,
All right, so
we didn't want to make it 80, I know we didn't.
No, right.
where are we at here? Okay, just make sure you spec out a second and. Good notes on it.
And we spoke last time, Tricia, about the, no, not that, oh, the size of the lot.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay.
Right now you have it at, the regulation that we got was a half acre.
Why don't we leave it that way and grandfather the ones that are there existing,
That's what the discussion was last time. just to
Right,
grandfather them over. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
and then someone buys it, they can't have it,
It's not transferred.
not transferable, okay? So it's a one-time, what do we call that?
Grace,
Grandfathering.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, we didn't back off if the lot is unattended, you know, they
Yeah, I
can't have,
agree.
it. They cannot have. it.
Okay.
So we're just gonna leave it minimum lot size to be half acre?
Yeah,
But we
grandfathering,
should also
Correct.
put in there that it's a Bellingham acre, not, because 43,560 is an acre.
right, no, it's 20,000,
Are we doing 20,000 square feet?
20,000 square
Right.
foot,
Let's.
But we're gonna
do-
use a Bellingham acre, which is 40,000.
which
square
is
feet.
40,000.
So why don't we just
Just be
say
consistent.
20,000 square feet?
Let's do that.
because
Let's do that.
That's
way.
easy,
Well,
Yeah.
Larry's is 20,000,
yeah. that's-
Oh,
his
perfect.
property,
There you go.
all right? So he was
Yeah.
not gonna make
They're
the half
all-
acre, but if you go 20, he'd be okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because
So
I
I'm
was
gonna
always
take half
assuming,
acre and make
I was
it
assuming the Bellingham,
20,000 square. feet.
Most
I
stuff
know, but
is-
I did, because
That's right,
I did
that's
it
right.
before.
that's right. You could be technical that way,
Well, I
But,
just- that was all.
you know, you always pay on the Bellingham.
We need to
Rules on
add
the
some
Bellingham
sort of
acre.
statement stating, previous locations are grandfathered.
Grandfather, but not transferable.
Non-transferable.
Okay, I got it.
Right? So unfortunately, Fred's isn't gonna be able to stick.
No,
The one across from Stop and Shop.
Right.
Used to be-
Oh,
used to be a car lot, now it's vacant and, whatever.
All right, and then was there anything else?
Yep, the other thing was,
There was like 3 or 4.
I talked to Tim, I talked to other people, and I don't know if Bruce ever, or Laura ever got a comment back from the town council. I mean, you can't have a range of like the fine is 25 to 50 miles per hour. No, you can't have a fine, a range.
Oh, you don't want to do a fine now?
No, I don't want to do a
Okay, we'll
range.
do 48 hours.
No, I want to do 36. I think it's splitting the difference, 48 on a holiday weekend. I think that's fair.
No, because it's more than our holidays. There are a lot of holiday weekends that we don't even celebrate. That could be every weekend.
No, it can't be.
48, I think was, so 48.
I don't, it's good because it really, it means it's a nuisance for 48 plus hours.
No.
It is.
48 hours.
No, it's 48 hours. You have to catch it when it happens. So by the time you catch it, some cases,
Give them time to get a dumpster, get them time to call the bin company, give them time to get maybe manpower. If there's somebody throws furniture in front of them, they get time to help get rid of it. I mean, you gotta give them some leeway.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
48 hours is 2 days, 36 is
Yeah.
a day and a half. Then
Yeah.
who's gonna,
well, I mean, I want 24,
I
but
know you do.
whatever, but
That's not enough time though, sometimes. Not on the weekends.
Whether
24 hours is not
weekend,
enough time on the weekends.
no, but 36 is, it's good enough saying if it goes on Saturday, picked up by Monday, you're okay. Something like that. But the other way,
The 24 hours is still the same thing. I mean, 48 is still the
no,
same.
it isn't. You get to see it from Friday afternoon all the way through till Monday morning. Because who's gonna go out, even me, is gonna go out and find someone who's not there at 11 o'clock at night, because it's the 48th hour.
Why did you go there at 11 o'clock at night and see it?
No, but I looked at a couple of situations and it would have meant I would have to go out at some weird time to find somebody. Because it's bothering me seeing trash entering our town. It's ugly.
It bothers
not just-
And
everybody.
it,
not
no,
just
it's not
about
bothering
location,
everybody
though.
because, people say like, well, nobody cares. You have a trash bylaw. We don't. In some cases,
I thought we had a trash bylaw.
we do. But what I'm
Well,
saying is
Commercial litter, I thought.
we have a
Yeah,
commercial
commercial,
levy.
yeah.
And this is basically the same thing.
Right.
I mean,
And
we
what
do
did
have
we
a
put
trash.
for that?
Huh?
48 hours?
yeah.
Right, so
48
what is the
hours.
problem? We gave 48 hours for that.
Because usually it's like a Stop and Shop. It's like a Walmart.
So that's what this is, Larry.
No, it isn't.
That,
It's the Planet A bins are not like, you shouldn't have stuff sitting out there like that, okay? You should. Whereas you have 5 rows of parking, maybe 150, 200 parking spots, and everybody out there is not responsible, so they throw stuff out. Anyway, well, here's the other thing, with the Stallbrook Plaza specifically,
that's Mark
it's
Basket.
odd. Well, yeah, Market Basket and
Walmart,
Walmart.
yeah.
Market Basket is perfect now. And all the trash is on the Walmart side. So I instructed Laura, and I didn't go out there today or yesterday because I was busy. They are not going to get like a call from the Board of Health saying, pick it up. Now it's going to be, I photographed it, 48 hours and 1 second, they're getting fined. And I just have to drive by, no matter what time it is, and make another shot and say, it's the same trash. And you're not gonna leave trash embedded in the tar. You're not gonna leave trash stuffed in the
Okay,
bushes.
that's fine, but 48 hours is 48 hours.
Yeah,
I
but
still
that's a
think-
commercial entity.
I
where
still
there's
think though.
a great number of
To
people.
get the clock officially ticking, you have to give them notification.
Yeah.
You still have to tell them.
You have
No,
to tell
no,
them, and then,
no,
how are they supposed to know?
because I send a picture of, let's
What
say,
do you
no,
send it
no,
to?
I'm supposed to let them know they have to pick up their parking lot. No, that's not true. They're supposed to submit to us.
So do you go to the
Mhm.
police station and tell them, I was speeding down Center, 175, give me a ticket?
No, it's
No,
not the same thing.
yeah, it's in.
No, it isn't.
Well, you weren't caught that. time.
You're maintaining a parking lot. You have to maintain it.
They're not gonna.
So what
call
you have to
and
do
tell
is
you that they have
every
trash.
night you should be sweeping it,
Um,
or every second night you should be sweeping it before the 48th hour. You're not gonna tell someone, oh, by the
usually
way,
you give
I'm
it-
giving you a
the
warning and a
clock
warning
starts
and a
ticking
warning
once
and a
they get
warning.
notification.
And what I asked from that company was,
Right? Isn't that
I
how-
think,
Laura, did I ever get a maintenance plan and a
think you have to
schedule of
notify them
cleaning
if the
for
clock will start.
Stallbrook?
That's a
Plaza.
town council.
Okay.
That's
don't
a
think I
legal
did.
question.
So
We're
this is
not
the thing.
attorneys.
I asked 2 weeks ago for that company to deliver a schedule of cleaning of that parking lot. So the minute they don't do it, they're not even getting 48 hours. If you tell me you're picking it up every Tuesday, and I go out there on Tuesday, and it's filthy all day long, you didn't do Tuesday. You can't tell me something and not do it. That's not fair. I mean, I have to take time out of my busy schedule to make sure that people are doing the things right, I'm not getting slapped in the face
It's
with
the
all
way this world is
things that,
turned.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
It shouldn't,
it's turned upside down.
how long have I been complaining about, and other residents too, about stuff that's sitting out there and people don't care? And I said, no,
It's gotten a lot better, Vinny, over the years. You cannot say it hasn't gotten better.
It used to be
No.
really bad.
well,
It's even gotten better since we,
And that,
We
if not,
did Earth
that's a
Days,
sucker
it
punch
might
to
got
me,
a-
because I did a lot of work calling those damn places for
Correct.
years.
Right,
And
right.
it got a lot better.
I don't know. I would say it was,
Oh, those sucker punches.
no, I was gonna say it was
Sucker
extremely
punches.
horrible, but now it's just
5 years-
horrible.
5 years ago, I started that.
You did, but I don't think it's less trash out there. You gotta go by there. You don't go by there as often
I
as
should
I
go
do.
sit over there.
Okay,
Anyway, I think you have to give them notice.
You-
before
I,
you-
I,
You have to
I,
give a notice first for
Yeah.
anything. It has to be a written notice
no, it doesn't.
I mean, You're,
You're not
or
gonna,
verbal, but written's better. You have 24 hours. They don't have it cleaned up in 24 hours, then, 48. He's got me brainwashed now and keeps saying 24.
so what happens when they don't pay the fine, when it's gonna go before the judge? What do you think the judge is gonna say? Did you notify them?
yeah, you gotta have something,
Come on,
you've gotta
Benny.
have something in writing.
Stop being so
no, you have a
stubborn.
picture.
You gotta
They
notify
gotta-
them, but they didn't get a picture, they didn't get notification that
Did
there
you
was
hear
a problem.
Photoshop?
Yeah,
Right.
you know, well, if it's time stamped on my camera, it's not Photoshop.
You can
You
change
can
that.
change
on a
that,
camera.
though.
Yeah, well, I can't, so. You have to take the person who's taking the picture, you know, I'm techno limited on that. You know, I couldn't figure simple things and then the kids had to show me.
The reason why we did the 48 is if it does fall on a weekend, we have to give them that time.
It was a weekend, it was.
Okay.
You can write up to 48 hours.
Well, that's what we have, but he doesn't
Right.
like the range though.
Yeah, I
No,
don't
so
want
just
them-
write up to 48 hours.
Items must be removed.
Yeah, but then we have it listed, you could be issued a fine on the 48th hour.
Well, of course, that's the
48
whole purpose of saying you have to have it
48
done by the 40th
Yeah.
hour.
Would it be easier to put 2 days instead of?
No, it's not gonna make a difference, come on, you know, then someone's gonna technically say, ooh, there might have been a leap minute.
Is that a work week or is that a full week?
Right,
Is
right,
that,
right, yeah.
you know,
Right. because-
Business days or is that?
Correct, yeah, see,
Holidays?
And then how do you deal with a holiday?
well, I'm saying for 12 hours, a 24-hour period, I'm giving them the 12
Holidays
extra
don't
hours.
count. How about that?
No,
Holidays don't count.
A lot of these guys come and
Holidays
pick up
don't
on
count.
Monday.
legal American holidays.
You
which
can't, that's
no,
discrimination.
No, you
You
don't.
can't say
No, no.
American holiday. You can't do that.
You can't have your holiday subscribed on the entire population of this country because it's not one of the regular ones,
If
okay?
it's on the calendar.
If it's on the calendar and
Whose
it's,
calendar?
no, and it's given as either a federal, state, or a what do you
That's
call
a
it?
very fine line. I'm
That,
not
you know,
going there.
No, those are the legal holidays. Take it like when you pay a bill.
Then
when
you
pick up
take it
your
or
trash.
leave it. 48 or 24 to 48. Those are your options.
I
The
think
only
it's
reason why
up
we
to-
did 24, right.
Well,
up
what
to
good is
We're
48
that?
being
What is 24?
consistent
What
with
is it?
our other reg at the 48 hours.
Yeah, the 48 hours does fall. in
But
line
what
with
is the
it.
24 to 48 really do?
Okay, but if you say up to 48 hours,
Right.
that's like the maximum. So you can go in and be like, I want this cleaned up in 24 hours. You have to be realistic.
Yeah, but okay, you go in and say, I issued a warning
Mhm.
to Larry's. And
Yeah.
I said, it needs to be cleaned up by
Within
the
24 hours.
within 24 hours.
Yeah.
I said, technically, on the commercial bylaw, if we go with that, you have
Well,
to,
then you're just talking too much.
right,
By
but then he
saying,
said, he says, I go and pick it up a lot of times.
That's not commercial dinner, that's.
No,
about
that's not
donation
commercial,
dinner.
right? So,
Larry says he goes and picks it up.
yeah, he says,
That's
he-
a.
okay, yeah. So, okay. So, okay, I'll go with,
Up to
we have to write
48
that.
hours.
So no, she said 24 to 48, so I
Well,
can
that's
tell
what that
someone,
means.
Yeah,
though.
so I can go tell someone you have 24 hours.
Exactly, of course.
Wait a
You
minute,
have to
That's
be,
not what you said.
that's what that means.
Oh, okay, okay, so,
That's what that means, but.
I
you
guess
have to
I don't
be-
know English.
But you have to be realistic.
I
You
don't-
listen to me, Vincent?
Yeah,
You have to be realistic.
okay, fine,
So if it's a Friday, late afternoon, you can't expect that to be cleaned up until Monday.
no, that's not saying, I've given you 24 hours, he's open on the weekend.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, but is Planet Aid open?
He said you can call them.
Okay.
They should
perfect.
come out and pick
If
it
you
up.
can, then
Should is
perfect.
the word.
No, they should do.
They should is the word, yeah.
So
but
what
do
I
they
want
not?
is,
You gotta
as
give
part of
them
this
some
law
time.
is, if it's a 24 to 48, and there's a pile of trash on there on Saturday, they come out and pick it up Saturday. That should be, he should be able to call them and say, listen, the Board of Health said, pick it up.
24 to 48.
Okay.
I'm leaving it at
I
that.
think
He
one of
wants
the
to
things
go
we
one-
should do.
That's
with
what I'm
The permit is a 24-hour phone number.
Yeah. That's fine. Yep.
I
that
have a
in.
dispatcher
Yeah.
for Planet Aid,
Did you
he
see this?
responds pretty good.
Okay. Fine.
So I mean,
Okay.
if we let them know, hey, you've got trash at such and
So
such a
word
location.
that so that I can vote yes instead of no. Okay,
So
so
we're
we're
gonna keep
saying
it
that
within 48, 24 to 48.
24 to 48, and we're gonna say that you can be notified, either a written warning,
It should be written,
it should be written, no,
or
that's fine.
an email, or, I mean, you can call, but there's no documentation. The
yeah,
whole
but I don't
purpose
have
of
that.
the
CYA.
written-
And I don't have their email.
No, but
We will.
we're gonna request that on the permit.
Okay, yeah,
The
okay, good.
application.
So I can send them an email.
We're gonna
I
have
don't
a
wanna go up there.
24,
With a picture.
a 24-hour phone number with an email address,
Okay,
like the permitizer.
okay, fine, okay. Yeah, I'll live with that.
You're not gonna change your mind?
He's gonna come back next time.
He is.
I've been
He's gonna go,
thinking.
I've been thinking.
But no,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's the same rule for, if it's a regular weekend versus a holiday weekend, it's the same rule. 24 to 48, and you can issue someone a warning. You want it picked up in 24 hours.
Yeah, it should be written. though.
I might
So
be a
you have
nice guy and say
documentation.
36, because I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, because you'd have that window.
Yeah, okay,
But they have up to 48 hours to get it removed.
correct. But,
Okay.
well, technically, if I said
24 to
24,
48.
and I said,
And
I'm
the
coming
reason,
back.
the reason for that too is because it depends on what it is.
Correct.
You know what I mean? If someone dumps a whole pile of trash in this room and you say, you have to have this cleaned up in 24 hours, come on now. But if it's, you know.
Piece of
just-
furniture.
Yeah, a piece of furniture or a couple boxes that are left out
Right,
there,
right.
there's no reason that they can't go up
Yeah.
and clean that up
And throw it in.
in
their
less than
dumpster.
24 hours.
Correct.
Right, what I'm saying is,
I'm
Kelly's
saying you
saying,
have to be
they still have
realistic.
48, no, they have 24, upon notice, they have 24 to 36. That I'd say, if it isn't picked up tomorrow,
It just has to be in writing.
correct, okay, that's fine.
No pictures, that doesn't work.
No, no.
Although a picture with the writing goes along.
Because when you
with it.
take the battery out and then you put it back in, the time's gonna be off.
I agree with that. All right, so
Yeah,
Laura
when I
is
took
gonna
a
put
picture,
a
that's that
maximum,
timestamp.
maximum number of permits issued in town is gonna be 50.
Right, right, okay.
Where are
We're
we on
gonna
that?
leave
What-
24 to 48
What's
hours.
the next one?
That
So,
is on
I'm gonna go back to stall.
5.2.5.
5.2.5.
That's fine.
And what was the other, the 24 to 48 hours?
You
was
said
gonna
50,
stay.
right?
Yeah, 50.
Okay.
So 9.1.2, Laura is gonna stay the same,
Wait,
24 to
one more
48
thing I wanna
hours.
add, though.
Was that the only thing, was the only
Yeah.
things we had that we
Yeah,
wanted?
the only
to-
thing is what Trish just said.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we write that in there?
So,
A
yeah,
written notice or an email of,
Notification.
by the Board of Health or its agents.
Mhm. It should just say a written, so either if it's
Right.
written in an email, written.
That's
on
fine, that's
paper.
fine. By a Board of Health person or another agency. You shall pick it up in that period of time
Mhm.
that stated on it. So
A
I'll do
written
that.
notice shall be given or something like that.
That's
yeah.
fine. And I won't go
Where is that gonna-
24.
we have to talk about where that's gonna go.
Right, that's where that's gotta go. Somewhere near the,
I would
24
put it
48.
under the 9
Enforcement.
somewhere and just basically put a written notice will be issued
right, right.
by,
I think enforcement, no? No?
by email, mail, or in person. How's that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I just think, like, even in person,
Well, no, I'm saying
There's
in
no
person writing a
documentation.
ticket. It's a
Oh,
warning.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
warning on it because it doesn't have that capability.
mhm.
Maybe we should get the ticket.
So we're gonna put it in penalties
We don't have
section?
warning ones?
No, we just have the official ticket. I wrote warning right
Enforcement
now.
section,
And that's why Larry's accepted it. He signed it. So,
Section 10.
Section 10.
That's gonna go
I
in
don't know
10,
where you are.
down under
I don't know
enforcement?
where you are.
I don't know
Okay.
where I am either. Hang on, wait a minute.
Just put a written,
I have a written notice will
I
be
got it,
issued
yeah.
by email, mail, or in person.
Okay. And
Okay.
Is that when the clock starts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make
I'm good
that
with
statement too, which starts. the
Right,
clock.
so where you putting that exactly now?
Section 10 is enforcement,
Okay,
so I don't know where it's putting.
we need to
but
stick it in
it's
somewhere
stick
that
it in.
fits appropriately.
On a finding of a violation of the provisions of this section, the enforcement officer shall serve notice of the violation as in
Oh.
order to correct.
All
It's
right, so
already
put
in
it,
here.
we'll put it in there.
it already says a written notice.
Yeah,
With that.
10.2.
Why does it go 10.24567? What happened to 1, 2, 3? Do we take them
Well,
off?
we have one.
Oh, so serve notice,
There's
that's written,
two,
right? Yeah.
so-
Okay, fine.
4, 5, 6 should be 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I think we took something out.
Actually,
Oh,
no,
yeah. Why did we do that?
no, it should be like A, B, and C, I think, because look, 10.3.
Up to
is-
ABC, okay.
Well, see how 10.3 is penalties,
Right.
10.4, so. Yeah.
Well, that's 10.31, 3, 2.
Yeah, then I just put bullets. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, put A, B, C, D, whatever.
ABCD, okay.
So put it in that section.
So where are you gonna stick the written one, right with
We do the first thing.
the first thing? Okay,
So that'll be A and then 4 would be B, and so on.
Okay.
I'm still on vacation mode, so take a little.
Okay.
slow.
That's
All
fine.
right, let's look at the annual report real quick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they
Tricia's
came out
gonna
good.
leave. Tricia's gonna leave. in 2
Anyway,
minutes.
so-
So let's look at that all first.
So with the commercial parking lot, I gotta get notice and I have to clean it in 40.
Yes.
Speaking of commercial parking lots, our favorite buddy has filed paperwork with the selectmen's
That's fine.
office.
Good.
Might be a
I think it's
good place
great.
for him to locate himself.
I know. Hey, I think it's great. You should get involved. See, it's not as easy as one might think.
It is.
It's good. Look yourself out.
So I'm gonna,
New
Might be
energy,
a lot
new
easier.
the
ideas.
board of selectmen, Dennis, and town council.
All right, so we only did 13 septic systems. only
Those
3.
are the loan program,
Oh,
13.
13 loan. program.
Did you want a number of the total number of systems we did?
should.
No, because this is talking about the septic system
Okay.
program. Okay.
Because I can make a
Yeah.
separate line.
No,
item.
No, that's fine, because the other page has all of them.
Has
Okay.
all those
It's got
repairs.
96 repaired systems.
Yes,
Okay.
All right.
Okay, good.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay. Answered the question. All right, and then 61,719 fees collected. Does that sound right? Let's look at last year's. What's a food permit? How much is the food permit costing them?
we bumped them up just slightly.
Yeah, like
300?
50. Well, it depends. A small one is 300 now, or 250, is it 300, right? What's a pack,
29
pre-packaged food?
livestock permits. Trish.
think it's-
I know, that's good.
That's really good. 29 livestock permits.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
See, that was another one, we got the bull by the horns
350
and wrestled
septic
it down.
construction inspections. That tells you a lot about what's going on in town as far as new houses go.
Yeah.
Septic systems.
Oh, another thing we
sustainable.
have to visit, well, you can do.
23 body art permits.
Yes,
Do you have a cap on it?
those are
We took it
techs,
off. We gotta put it back on.
those are technicians underneath them.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
lot
okay,
of-
no,
a
no.
lot of
this is the
tattoo artists.
technicians, okay.
Yeah, but we had opened up the cap. It's been a year or over a year and a half since we
Yeah,
opened up the
lazy.
cap. We should close it back up.
Okay, fine. But this is body art, people working within establishments.
Working within
Yeah,
the.
What do we have
Yeah.
establishments
Yeah.
regulation?
Right.
Permits.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the body art establishment permit? No, no, no. We had
But we did
sealed
put a
up.
cap on it and then we opened it back up for a year and a half. And now I think we should close.
Oh, I thought we opened it up just for the one across the street. We should do it.
Right, but then we left it open in case,
Oh, we
any
did.
because we didn't want,
Okay,
in case someone wanted to come in.
Okay,
and
fine.
Get it, so.
Then we added 2 more
we did add 2 more.
because it was 2 and I'm like, I'm not happy with that because there was a couple that wanted to and we
So
said.
that's
no
why
to
we
them.
left it
Right,
open.
right, right. Okay,
And
that's why
reached
we
out to
did
them,
that.
So now
Okay.
we should close it again.
We should
Okay.
close.
We'll put that on the agenda for next time, Laura. Body art permit
Yeah, we're gonna close the limit.
cap.
Cap.
Now, is that the number of establishments or the number of technicians?
Established.
No,
Yeah,
established,
established.
not
technicians.
Not-
They can have as many.
Because the permit
technicians
is
as
like a practitioner and there's
No,
like. a
exactly,
whole
right,
they want.
number.
Right, right, right.
Now, this was just a cap for.
Because some of these
established.
places have 7 or 8.
Yeah, no, not
People,
that.
Right,
Not
no,
that
we're
one,
not-
yeah,
we're
it
not
was something
capping
else.
people. By the way,
Is
if
that
you can
what-
find people
is that what
today,
we're
that's probably.
Can I have the folder with the bill so that we can sign the body at the body?
This
the,
is- right.
6
annual
mobile
report?
food permits.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming Laura put in
Who's
the one.
mobile? Ah, we have
Which one?
6 mobile food permits.
I didn't know we even
Oh,
had
we
that
got
still.
Lobster guy.
Yeah, but no, I thought, well, do we still
Yeah, I
use
got
those?
that Name lobster, sister.
Does he do that? Does he even do that? I've only seen him here like a few times.
Yeah.
He's over at Larry's. I've seen it at
A
Larry's.
few times, but that's it.
Not
Who
too
else?
often. We don't see it too often.
We have an ice cream man.
Yeah,
He's gotta get a hold of
He's
him.
gotta
I don't know how many we have
Oh.
of those.
and he has to get cleared by the police department. That's it.
Wow.
He's dealing
Oh,
with kids.
can you do this too while you're here? And the annual report isn't in here, so I'll
Oh.
just use.
Use yours, okay.
You make the motion.
There's a couple,
I'm just gonna make a motion real quick
So that
to,
she can go.
to pay Robbie Griffin $2,500 for food inspections,
I'll second that
tobacco and food to mix.
for both.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second that.
I'm gonna abstain. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes with 2 votes. And then some, this is the annual report. I don't see an original.
You're
in here.
abstaining?
Yeah,
Okay.
so at least you'll have original signatures. For the annual report.
Okay.
Okay.
Want to stick
Yeah,
that
we're
back?
Yeah, well, we're not done, but
Oh, yeah.
the rest of the
Fine.
stuff we can do. Right.
There
Okay,
wasn't
have a good
there
night.
weren't
Give me
any
this card.
plans.
Sorry.
No plans.
No.
That can go back in the. folder.
So,
This is fine.
Working tonight?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
from,
thank you. Huh?
Working.
No, I gotta go get my little one. I have to pick her up. I'm gonna send that to her.
yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Hey, happy New Year.
Stay safe.
Hey, happy New Year.
Did you, in your folder was some cards?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
because you weren't here when I was here last.
I know.
Okay.
Was
All
I
right,
working?
let's go.
You were away and I was, yeah, I think you were virtual. And I was in pack my suitcase mode.
All right, take care.
Take it easy.
Okay, so let me look at this. Annual report we did. All right, so
That's all?
let's look at the minutes.
Okay.
Are you ready? Here we go. So- Laura, we'll get you out of here fast. We'll just go right through this.
While you're looking at the minutes, that new person that we got with the tax write-off program is diligently helping Esther in a big way with all of the phone calls.
Perfect.
She
What's
made
that
over,
woman?
she worked almost, she worked right up to 4:30 today, over 100 phone calls.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's the same woman that was there when I was there. And she was doing a
Oh,
good
yeah,
job.
she was
People
in your
calling her
office
back.
for a while.
Yeah, she was using my,
I didn't know
I
who
told
that
her,
lady was. I didn't know.
I told her to go ahead and use that and set the phone so she could be more private. Some people are kind of funny about,
I didn't know who that was. Fine. That's the work off lady. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of listened in on a few of her phone calls, very professional.
Yeah, rapid refill got rid of that one. That was a perfect disaster. Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Okay, I second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next is COVID policies and procedures, contract tracing assistance.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was just,
that's what it was.
that's,
I had said to Laura too, if you need help, I'll come in for a couple hours.
Make a
and
few
help you
calls.
If you need,
Yeah.
if you need the help. I'm not opposed to doing it. The other thing too, what we're gonna discuss, is that on here? Yeah, it's next thing anyway. In order for you to get paid, it has to be a special permit.
he has to be
Special-
designated as a special
Yeah.
employee.
You have to, you have to read,
go
read through this first
Okay.
and then decide if you have to go before the select board and all that wonderful stuff. So
Okay.
read through it. How many hours did you do?
Each
If you
one
were,
was,
if you were to guess, just throw it in.
yeah.
there.
Probably.
Just read it over. If it's something you want to consider, great. If not, you want to just keep volunteering,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
too,
Okay.
Okay,
I'll do that.
just something to
I'd
consider.
probably say, well, it's a long weekend and a long week. You know.
Mhm.
How many days was it, Bruce? It didn't start. I actually said something the first day. I said, wow, no calls. I should have never said that, is what somebody said in the office. It started going downhill after I said that. It was nonstop.
I stopped
Hopefully,
somebody. and-
hopefully the issues at the Charles.
Yeah,
go
go
away,
away.
We won't
Yeah.
get those calls,
Okay.
but that's an average day, yeah, 2 or 3
I got
complaints.
calls about vultures at Bellwood.
Vulture?
Vultures, like a whole bunch of vultures on roofs all over the ground. And I'm like, there's gotta be a dead body, yeah, like there's a dead dog,
Yeah,
a dead
yeah,
cat,
yeah.
dead something. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, it's probably a protected class. I don't know. I said, call animal control, call Tracy. She
Yeah,
would know
call Tracy.
better. Maybe she can bring a dog, maybe they can find something. She goes, they're all over the place. So I don't know what happened. I said, if you don't get any luck with Tracy, call me back. And she did. That was Monday.
Okay,
So that was that one. I got a bunch of septic tank questions on how big the tank is, that the office was closed, or whatever. Like you're gonna have to, I don't have access to that. I don't know. I have to call back. I got permit questions. I directed them to the building department. I don't know why they called me. And then I got a few calls on the betterment program and process. So I took care of those. Those were easy.
Mary is working up, well, for lack of a word, a cheat sheet, so that the people understand what are they getting into and the responsibilities. We did have a couple come in today that got their bill and was very
Surprised. by how
unhappy
much.
and surprised at
Because
how
of
much it
them.
really was.
So I must be in this category. I can't figure out where I am, but anyway,
Well, you don't have to rush through it now. Read it. You gotta just
Yeah,
bring it home with you.
but I gotta
Don't
figure out
forget
which
you
one
have
I'm
it.
in. I'm not in the first one. I'm
Well-
not selecting.
Well, look at the, you have to read the email.
I did. That's it.
What's this?
Oh,
Okay, so
that's it.
read all that, not now,
Okay.
but read all that and then it'll tell you what the next pages are. You can't scan through it. You gotta read.
Okay. Well, it's in bold. I think that was my important. I saw
These are
some-
two complaints,
Okay.
Bruce, that I took on dogs. We have a problem at Walmart.
Yeah,
I know,
out of control.
out of
Yeah,
control. I've gone in there a number of times.
And I understand why these employees don't confront them.
Right.
They are just in your face, entitled to bring their dog in. It's like
Yeah.
confronting a smoker.
Right.
They're very,
Before
hard.
the
And
rules
for the
change.
amount of money, it's like, whatever they make an hour, is it really worth getting beat up? This woman could have decked me, but
Right.
I stood my
Yeah.
ground. I was like,
Yeah.
sorry, you can't have a dog in here.
I
I can
mean,
bring my
Kelly's
dog
not a real tiny.
anywhere I
I
want.
don't mean, not a short woman, and I don't mean the other way. This
That's why I
lady
mean, I
was
did
right
research
on
it
it.
and
right?
then forward you some information via email, but
Imagine if you're a small little employee, 4'11". Yeah, look at the size of it.
Here's the dog here. And then she had one in her purse.
Yeah.
So these I want to put in the binder or in their file, whatever.
Okay.
There's the two things that I did.
short of being able to
But
give
if,
them a fine.
but
Well,
the thing
only
says
the-
no emotionally support dogs allowed.
That's correct.
Right.
No.
I had sent you
emotionally
that.
support.
Okay, now here's the thing, as I said to you, Bruce, and I think I may have said to Laura.
Well, we have to send something out to Walmart.
Yeah, but we also have to
Market Basket. We
get
do
town
something.
council to say, like, we can create a regulation that's going to put teeth into it. They can call us,
We definitely
in
have
this
to
case,
look
or the
into
police
it. I don't
department,
know.
you know.
I know
It's
there's
tough.
some.
I mean, I actually confronted somebody
Yeah. well,
in
I
Home
was
Depot and they basically,
Yeah.
it was gonna be,
Oh, I know.
Well, I almost got decked once. 'cause I
it was
didn't
gonna be
I
ugly.
didn't think the
Yeah.
guy was, and when I
I know.
pursued him, he said, you keep following me, so I'm gonna deck you. But I did get him thrown out of the store eventually.
She wanted my name, my number. I put it in her phone for her.
What's your
Here
badge
you
number?
go.
Yeah.
I'm number
So,
one
yeah, you're on the hit list,
on the hurt list.
hit list.
Hit list, man. I
You're
was
not on the
expecting
Christmas
something on
list.
Facebook, but nothing showed up.
Right,
I said, listen, I'm an animal person, like crazy.
Yeah.
I want to bring my dog too, but you can't.
right.
It's got a food, any place with a food permit. Well, I can do it in Milford. Well, this isn't Milford. Bellingham enforces
Right.
state
Oh,
law,
we
state
call
law,
Jackie.
no,
Put it this way,
but I tried to be
You were
very
nice
nice,
to her. I would
so
say,
she knew it
I'm
wasn't
not an
just.
animal person
know.
right now.
But-
I
And
told
of
you
course,
to
that was
get
the
out
night I
of
wear my board health jacket.
No, I know for a fact that Jackie would know for Beth from Medway. I can't think of the guy's name up there in,
Well, she made it sound like she's been taking this dog since it was a puppy everywhere.
in Millis.
And she might have
Millis.
that.
It's not my ticket.
No,
Nobody
but I
wants
mean,
to.
these
see
guys
it.
are all having the same problem. So if we were to do something.
Yeah, but someone needs, put it this way, it's 351 boards of health, they're band together,
Come
we
to
can
the
change state
association.
law.
I went to the service desk at Walmart and I wanted a manager and I said, there's a dog. Oh, no, dogs are allowed. The service desk employee said that.
Right,
Dogs are allowed,
We'll tell them then stop selling food.
correct.
but there's a problem because even the employees think it's okay to have a dog.
Yeah.
And that's right there at the door as I walk in.
Right,
There's a
It's
problem.
posted.
right, right. It is a big sign,
There's
It
no
doesn't.
sign there the other day,
so.
but yeah.
We gotta
so-
put a regulation and then
We
do.
then hit it with the media.
Well, no, we hit it with town council and we just do
We
it.
have to do something, yeah,
Yep, that's fine.
just ADA.
No, I
it's very
thought
strict.
maybe we reach out to Mike Soto. There is a bill before, I think it's a dead committee.
It's in Senate.
Said, okay, but either way, it needs to get moved
There were
along.
4 dogs on my plane coming back and forth.
Yeah, isn't it ridiculous?
It used to be.
They pay for a seat?
No,
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 they
they
do pay
can't.
extra,
no.
they do pay extra, but they don't put them underneath anymore, they have them.
the dog is right in, the woman
Right
that
on
came
the
in
floor.
and had the aisle seat was allergic to dogs and she made a big stink.
Yeah.
And told them that you wanted to be relocated, so they put her in first class to get
That's
her.
fine. Yeah, by the way, that's a good one, because if you have an issue with some person that has, you know, a kid that keeps puking and,
I would have never
Coffin.
picked this seat.
You
if
can
I
say,
knew it
listen,
was a
this is
daughter
unhealthy
next
for
to
me.
You know, the lady went off.
you know, but anyway,
All right, so Bellingham Bulletin updated staff info. What is that? I don't see anything on here for that.
That,
That's just a list of who we are.
I think that's just a calendar.
Oh, because the next thing says 2022 employee calendar. Look at this. We are 3.5 weeks ahead of the game.
Oh, geez, you're good.
Oh my gosh. I just can't
I hope I'm-
contain myself. All right. Next one's, all three are on hold, the agreements for betterment. ones are
Correct.
on
But I'm
hold.
waiting to see what Mary comes back with. I don't want to get into agreements until not knowing what they are. So we're having her put together
Okay,
a handout, I guess you could say.
Yep,
And then everybody's clear and they know what it is and what it's gonna cost. And,
yep. I think it's good.
I had a girl in the accounting or collections try to do some type of amortization so that people will know
How much?
what it's gonna be.
It can't be that much over 20 years. $20,000, $25,000.
No, but
no, it's
this
a
particular
3%
person,
loan.
Yeah,
It can't be
it's
much.
they put the amount over 2 quarters, not over 4 quarters. So
Oh,
they
really?
got
So they
to,
screwed
It's
it up.
bigger,
no, that's how they do it.
so it's bigger,
2 quarters versus
2
4
quarters out of 4, they
So they got a
got you
big,
better part, so it's not split in 4, it's split in 2 for your year, whatever that
Okay.
year is.
so it's, you know, a
So some
fairly
people probably
hefty
say,
amount,
oh, geez,
and the
It's wrong.
people weren't expecting it.
right. Yeah, they don't see the first one, they see it the second and third, they should do first and fourth, that way at the end of the year.
All right. Do we have input on that?
No. probably
It's less than
not.
$100.
Yeah, but they're worried about the 25,000 they purchased.
But these people
No, but over
also
20
took,
years at 3%.
these people
Correct.
took the 37,000 and divided it by 20 and then divided it by 12 and thought that that's,
Well, that's not how a mortgage.
I know,
is,
Right,
so-
no, that's not how you do it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still better off than coming up
Well,
with a lump sum of $37,000.
Correct, yeah, so anybody's gonna think of that, we're
Yeah.
giving you a 3% loan, you can't get that.
Have we satisfied the agenda?
yes.
So that Laura, what are those?
So what are we doing with the,
What are those?
that's, oh yeah, so incident reports, I need to bring this one up, it's another regulation we can do. 8 Granite Street was an oil tank rupture spill.
Well, oil tank is on our goal list, which is.
I know, it just haven't done it yet, so I didn't respond, you guys didn't respond,
I didn't get a call.
so, no, but anyway, I did call you and asked you about that, so.
Yeah, you asked if I got a call. I said,
right.
no.
So they called Cliff Matthews, he went out. You know,
Fire
Here's an
department,
exterior tank.
okay, the employee, no, it gets better, the employee was getting rid of a metal waste tank, was cutting it in half with a torch. The tank combusted, so oil was left on, okay, there was oil in the tank, it was cutting it up. That's you shouldn't really have that.
Yeah, aren't you
Capability,
supposed to
unless
have
you
some
hazmat.
environmental company
Well, yeah,
come
no,
in?
no. I mean, you could do it if you have a hazard waste license, or
How many people have one of those?
like,
I know.
If you- what I'm saying is, if you have one of those, you could do it, or if you at least have common
What's the
sense.
other one?
So about 40 to 50 gallons burned.
What's that one? Yeah, it's a
Um,
Charleston.
Yeah, it's Charleston.
Alright.
So I gotta give you the last one. So here's my suggestion. You know, I was gonna say it to him, but I said, I'm not gonna. If they fix the dumpsters, I mean, completely, have to be completely empty, nothing on the side.
You tear it up.
No. Tomorrow, you're doing it. I told Laura, you're on tomorrow.
I know. I was gonna do it today, but you beat me.
I know, but it was because I was going to Home Depot and I said, you know what? I had to pass Larry's, which had junk, and I had to pass the Charles. So I had to go in.
This morning, I went by a Stop and Shop route instead of Larry's.
Yeah. So, and yeah, as Kelly pointed out, vets had the same stuff out there for 4 days now.
Yeah, what is
I
that?
really
It's a-
should
Like
have,
a child's toy or something?
I don't know, it's a big
No idea.
round thing and
I
then
don't
some
know.
other stuff. Anyway, so I
They
missed
get
my
more
calling
stuff.
there. 'Cause I went by Saturday night, it's still there. Went bought a lottery ticket, so,
Do you want
yeah, I know, you're right, but it was tonight too, right?
to listen?
Well, last night.
All right, so poor Laura's hanging out there.
I
We all
know,
set?
Okay.
have we satisfied? the
Yeah, so
agenda or
I'll,
not?
I'll give you these folders here
Okay,
of all These are the copies of the other ones and today's new one. So
Okay.
take that.
Put it, see that yellow folder right there?
Yeah,
That's
put it
the
in there.
Charles folder, put it right in
Okay.
there.
Well, here's the other question too, is I forgot to address these people. They either have 21 days to pay the fine, or they have 7 days to request a hearing in the board. They're not gonna get anywhere with that, right? Right. So if they don't pay it, they have to pay. They have to
We
go
have
to court.
two big wigs.
Well, you have his phone number now.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know, so should I tell you you have to pay the fine? It says it right here. Can you read?
Well, we have his email, so
Right.
if they haven't paid it, listen.
I'm gonna total all the outstanding fines,
Okay, yeah.
and then I'm gonna send it off to
It
Matt
sounds
Okay,
like they're
fine.
working on
and say,
everything.
okay, what can we expect to
Okay, so these are in here, make sure that they
put it right
get
in,
addressed.
right in the, in the,
Okay,
there we go.
just, I would say make sure they get addressed, because, you know, I don't want to say I waste my time and people don't pay the fine. That's it, you know, it is an issue.
I was promised by 6
Lose my
different
mind.
people that would be taken care of.
Okay, fine.
They went through 6 people.
Yeah, I know, see what I'm saying? Okay.
So when they say they weren't told,
They were told,
they were told.
So what I'm saying is,
that those people just were
Maybe-
too afraid to call court.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, maybe they didn't tell those people because maybe they weren't gonna
They
get
were
anywhere
quick.
with them or something.
Or
I
they
don't
were
know.
quick.
I don't know. But we
So,
said it's fine.
just make sure you time off 21 days from the 27th. or
On the
28th.
calendar already.
Got it, okay, good.
Somewhere else.
Yes, that's it. Now, something about suburban district, the rezoning, is that what JPI, which JPI apartment?
That's the terms.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
JPI Jefferson Place, remember? it was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was the special permit. I didn't know if there was anything in there that we could look at and
Oh,
say
okay.
you're in violation of your permit.
Okay, I didn't know that was, okay, fine.
I breezed through it, but I didn't really see anything.
I was trying to be
It
thorough.
is kind of old. yeah.
Something that,
It was
leverage
agreed
it
to
with-
by the other people, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They've been taken over 2 years, he said.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that old, but okay, whatever. Obviously, they haven't done a great job, I guess.
so can we,
Yeah.
close?
I'll make a motion to adjourn, sorry.
Okay, I second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion.
Good night,
passes.
everybody.
Good night. Oh, so.